Welcome to Inscapia. Today we're doing a poem, The Ball Poem by John Berryman. So this poem deals with the epistemology of loss. So epistemology means the knowledge or the learning of loss. So we'll understand the poem line by line and then go through the themes. What is the boy now who has lost his ball? What is he to do? So यहाँ पे the poet says, what will the boy do now who has lost his ball? So what happens is there was a boy and he was playing with a ball and his ball got lost. So now the boy is sad and the poet is watching him. So he says, what will the boy do now? क्या करेगा अभी वो? I saw it go merrily bouncing down the street and then merrily over. There it is in the water. So he says, I saw the ball, I saw he was playing with the ball. So the ball was merrily bouncing down the street and then it is in the water. So it fell in the water. Now, obviously, you can go to the boy and say, oh, there are other balls. So the poet says, no use to say, oh, there are other balls. So you cannot say that okay, you have lost the ball, so it's fine, there are other balls, just play with it. No. The boy had a specific attachment or there's a specific maybe memory behind the thing. So we just cannot say that we cannot just say that replace it. We cannot replace everything that we lose. So now for the boy, an ultimate shaking grief fixes the boy. So the thing is, he has never come across loss. He has never understood grief. So now there is an ultimate shaking grief fixes the boy. Okay, there is an ultimate sadness because he has never understood what is loss. So he is facing loss for the first time. So he stands rigid, trembling, staring down all his young days into the harbor where his ball went. So now he is just standing there, all right, trembling, and he is staring down into the harbor. So he spent many days in the harbor. Harbor is जहाँ पे ships वगैरह they come to dock. So it's a dock, and his ball fell into the water. So he used to come and stand and just watch the water where his ball went. The poet says I would not intrude on him. This line is important. Here the poet says that I will not disturb him. I'll not disturb him because he needs to go through this experience. It's very important that he understands what loss is. So he says, I would not intrude on him. Again, he says, a dime, another ball is worthless. So, dime means is very cheap. You can just buy another ball. So, the poet says, I cannot just buy him another ball. That ball would be worthless because he needs that specific one. So he says, a dime, another ball is worthless. Now he senses first responsibility in a world of possessions. Or the first thing is he understands what loss is. So the poet says, I would not intrude on him. So the poet says, I would not intrude on him. And you cannot pacify the boy saying that, oh, there are other balls. You cannot just say there are other balls. You cannot pacify a grieving person like that. And you cannot just replace a thing because all things cannot be replaced. So he says, I would not intrude on him because he needs to go through this experience. And you cannot just buy another ball because that is worthless for him. So कोई value नहीं है. And now the boy will understand what is responsibility. And this is a world of possession. So in this world, all of us need everything. We need everything. So we are bound to clash and fight. So you have to understand that you have to be responsible for all your possessions because people will take balls will be lost always, little boy, because people are fighting for your things and you will always be losing things. First thing is you have to be responsible, and second thing is even if you're responsible, sometime or the other you will lose things. So you have to understand how to handle loss. And no one buys a ball back. Money is external. So you cannot say that I'll just buy something, I'll just replace the thing. You cannot say that because you can replace a ball, but you cannot replace everything that you lose. Money is external because it cannot buy everything in the world. So no one buys a ball back. No one will be able to return you a thing that you have lost. And this is something that the boy is learning well behind his desperate eyes. So the boy is desperate right now. He doesn't know what to do. He is grieving, but he is also learning at the same time. In his head, he is understanding how to deal with loss. So he is learning well behind his desperate eyes. And what is he learning? The most important thing of the poem, the epistemology of loss. Epistemology is knowledge. Epistemology is understanding the nature of loss, and epistemology comes from the Greek word epistem, which means knowledge. So you can just say that it is the knowledge of loss. So he's understanding the knowledge of loss, the epistemology of loss, how to stand up. So first he understands what is loss and how does it hurt and how much it hurts, and then slowly he is learning acceptance and how to stand up in spite of loss. And he should know what every man must one day know. So we'll always, all of us have to understand what is loss, and we know, and most know many days how to stand up. So all of us, firstly we have to understand what is loss, and secondly we should know how to handle, accept loss, and stand up, how to stand up, how to continue with our lives. Because just like he says, balls will be lost always, will always be losing things, and no one will be able to replace it. So we have to be, first we have to be responsible in this world of possessions, but again we have to know how to stand up. This is the poem. I hope you have understood. If there is any doubt, you can just type it in the comment box. I'll see you in a new video. Thank you.